Hello and welcome to another edition of Nature's Glory Cabin Off-Road Edition. Today we're going to be doing some lesser mapped trails and some parts of Hollerwood. Some things that you don't normally see, and I do have this in a GPX file that works on both OnX and GaiaGPS if anyone is interested. Here coming up pretty quick, we're going to show you, here's the actual track we took as recorded with OnX. And if you see, we're only going to get to part 1, which is Trail 5 of Hollerwood, and here's the actual Hollerwood trail view. They are a little different. We didn't take all of this. So here we're taking off. There's a lot of water. Water was kind of high. Got the left front picture in the picture. We got the rear camera going. I'm on 33s. Everybody else here has at least 35s. So let's enjoy the ride. You can tell how deep the water is. Like I say, it looks like it's about 16 inches here in place, which is about halfway up the tires. And in long straces we will go through creeks, and we'll cross them several times, and then we'll go up in the mountains. This first half has lots of water, second half has more rocks and ends with water. If you notice the scenery, and here we go, we got a rear view of the Cherokee behind me coming through the water. This camera is mounted on my rear bumper. We'll see several shots where we have that on the back. And here we've continued with it. The fellow behind me is on 35s. And we switch back to the forward view. And I think this is the same water we went through showing the rear view a second ago. And the scenery is beautiful. The water is up. Fellow leading said that this was the highest he'd seen it back here. Again, lots of water crossings. I cut some of the other stuff out. This is Sand Lick. It is coming in off of Highway 11 from Slade. Again, I'll have some directions. If you want the GPX file, I'm happy to provide it. The trees are just starting to come out. We're just starting to get a little greenery. By the time I go out the next time, we'll probably have even more. I sped most of this up. I think I hit 11 miles an hour once, and this is sped up to, gosh, at least twice the speed, sometimes 3 times. It took us about an hour and a half to do part 1. And I've cut that down to about 20 minutes. Again, water everywhere. There's a creek on the right now. We've crossed it. It was on the left a little while ago. Sand Lick is an actual road that turns into, it says dead end where we get on it, but hey, we go off road, so we keep right on going. I'll get here to a spot here in a minute where me and them 33s, I hang up my rear end on a rock. I have a rear skid plate that's out to powder coat right now. Once I get it on, it'll be less of a problem. See there, I got hung on a rock. And you can see in the rear view the Cherokee, he's still in the water, and he's telling me to stay high to the right and get over it. And I got over it without any trouble. I didn't realize it was high as it was. Again, once I get that rear skid plate on, it'll skip right over it. I cut a little bit out there. I sat there for, I don't know, a couple of minutes before I got over it. If If you saw the left front wheel, it kind of slid off the rocks. Again, lots of water crossings. You got a fellow taking video, and I switched the view, I believe, rear view, so we can see this Cherokee coming through, and there it is. And we're going to take off. I cut out a few of the stops where we just sit still, so I cut out most of that. This is not something I recommend you do on your own unless you're pretty handy. You get back here and get broke, and could potentially have a pretty good problem. This is my first time doing this set of trails. And here we're coming up to an interesting spot. Several people went around in the water, and the guy in front of me and I decided to, I didn't know this at the time, there's about a 5-foot drop off here. It's not exactly straight off, but it's pretty good. And you can see as he noses over it. Cherokee's pulling up beside us. I posted some pictures on our Facebook page. Nature's Glory Cabin, Facebook and YouTube. And here he went down it, and you saw how steep it kind of was, and we're going to nose over it. And I'll also show a rear view where you can see how the rear bumper drags against the rocks. Easing down it. I didn't hit anything except for dragging the rear bumper. I mean, you'll see the video here. I'll switch to the rear view as I go down. We come back the other way on that, and we go up it in part 2. And if you notice, the Cherokee came down that other side where he went up beside us. If any of y'all out there that are with me when we take these trips, I'd appreciate if you could give me some high quality video. I'd be happy to include some of them in the video. I'm up in this part of the country quite often. And more water. Like I said, part 1 is more water, a little bit of rocks, not much really rock wise. Part 2 is more rocks than water. So part 2 will be coming in a week or so. This was done, I believe, 2 weeks ago, end of March 2023. It'll be in the details when you see the post. I know other people go through deeper water, but around here this is a good bit of water. The way my Jeep is built, some of these trails you'll see, that's about as rough as I want to do. About as much as my 33s will handle. It might be an upgrade to 35 someday in the future. We'll see. Again, see how deep the water is with the left front wheel and with the Cherokee coming from up behind. The guy in front of me has 36s, and you can see how deep the water is on his tires. I've I've got 33s, he's got 36s, and everybody else has 35s. 2 Cherokees, a Toyota, and 2 Jeeps. Both of the Jeeps are TJs. Again, I sped it up. You can see the water off to the left. We run along by the creek and cross the creek multiple times. I believe you can find sand lick on GPS, but it doesn't show you once you get to a certain point the rest of the way that we go. It'll get you to the start. See how deep that water is on his right rear wheel. It went up about 2/3 on that 36. Look how deep it is on the Cherokee behind me, up to his bumper. I think I'm going to show it here from behind. There you see it. I don't know what his lift is. It's more than mine. I'm at 3 1/4. Most of these guys have at least 4 inches, maybe a little more. So it's kind of deceptive when you say it's up to his bumper. That could be a whole lot more than it is on mine. Hey, and if you like this stuff, I'd appreciate you coming back and like and subscribe. I try to post something every week to 10 days or so. Sometimes it's cabin related, sometimes it's technical, sometimes it's hiking. We do a little hiking called Old People Trying to Hike. Visit our YouTube channel or our Facebook page. They're both named the same, Nature's Glory Cabin. And it has a website, www.naturesglorycabin.com. Yes, it looks a little bit repetitive and boring, but it's water crossing after water crossing. You can see how deep that one is. He's got an unknown lift and 36 of them up to his bumper, so he's at least 4 inches up. On my left front wheel, you can see that's about 2/3 up at the tire at one point, which is probably a good 24 inches. Now we're going to go down a little cut through, and we're going to go back in the water again. I cut some of this out. Some of it is, quite frankly, very easy, just dirt road, gravel road. Anything of interest I kept in, try to at least make it end to end so everything stays together. Now the guy in front of me is going to stay in the water to the right. He's done this before. I'm just going to go up to the left and follow the other guys. And we get down here to the end, you'll see the other folks in front of me, and you'll see him go ahead and cut in. See him coming up on the right in the water. You see a Toyota in front of me. License plate 3 locked. Apparently, I was not aware of it, but it has a locker in the front, the rear, and apparently the center section has a lock as well. I was unaware. Water, water, and more water. Had a good day. Very nice day out to be wheeling. Beautiful blue sky. Now we're crossing over into, I believe, getting into Hollerwood. We're going uphill here. Again, I got hung again, but I've been too high most of the time, so I put it down to 4 low, I guess, to get through this spot. I was told we're heading towards something called Carburetor Hill off of Sand Lick. We get toward Carburetor Hill, and then we head down, I believe it's Hollerwood 5, to get to the end where we stop for lunch, and this one ends. I did alright. I just had to back up and get another bite at it. Being on 33s occasionally takes a little bit more work to get through some of these spots. And from here on out, more rocks. Watch that left front wheel, and you'll see some of these rocks in some of these tight places the front camera doesn't show as well. This will look much better on a bigger screen. There, I said, now we're in Hollerwood Off-Road Park. I think I still could be heading toward Carburetor Hill. I don't know at which point we actually went down toward Hollerwood. Again, the Onyx GPX map will have the exact correct track. This is a pretty sharp turn over rocks here. They're telling me to stay far to the right, and I actually got through it pretty easily. If you watch that left front wheel, you'll see the rocks. Got to stay to the right on this one. And you can see how close that left front wheel is to the rocks. I do have rock sliders if I were to get into them. Can't remember if I got into them this trip or not. Alright, and through it. And we stop here for a minute after everybody gets through it, and then we continue on. I believe I might have cut it out like there it was. There's a transition, and we move along. There's a little spot here. This little TJ sometimes can make a turn without having to back up, and sometimes it can't. I think I made this one better than everybody else did. I think I went right through this one without having to back up. Again, the advantage of people in front of you, you can watch their line and decide how you want to take it. If you're the leader, you need to do what you can, because you may not take the best line the first time and have to back up and get another bite at it. And don't forget, changing conditions. We have storms in this area all the time, and these areas are not maintained like a road is. They go through about once a year and kind of correct the worst spots, and that's pretty much it. Another water crossing, fairly deep water. And we're getting ready to, here won't be too long before we stop for lunch. We're getting close to that. I think this might be the last water crossing. And we're going to pull into Hollerwood, where we're going to get ready to, after lunch, take Hollerwood 13 and go toward Jimmy's Bend. And here we are. Hope everybody enjoyed it. We're going to stop here for lunch, and don't forget to watch part 2. Be coming soon. Thanks for watching.